So I apologize everyone for the technical difficulties. Also, I'll apologize for any background noise. We tend to be having little thunderstorms pop up for the last hour, so hopefully that won't be too annoying. So Jody, thank you for that introduction and for keeping things going while I was trying to get connected. So today we're going to talk about Sage 100 Cloud. And most of you have heard the terminology Sage 100 Cloud. And basically that is if you move from a perpetual license to a subscription-based plan. That gives you the features and functionality of Sage 100 Cloud. What I did want to mention is that as features are released, you'll be getting information from Sage saying there's new features that are released and they're included in Sage 100 Cloud, but they become available with different service updates or different versions. So you still have to do an upgrade, or you still have to install a service update in order to get that. It just doesn't automatically become available in your Sage system. Also, just this last bullet point, I think we've talked about this quite a bit, but Sage 100 Cloud is still an on-premise software. It's really more of a cloud hybrid with some web-based features and product integration that makes it that cloud hybrid. Probably one of the most widely known and used cloud features is Atrix, which most of you probably use either for processing your 1099s or your W-2 forms. So what we're going to do is show you a sample of some of the things that have been added to Sage 100 Cloud. Some features started being added as far back as the 2018 version, but there are things that have been added in 2019, and then the newly released version 2020 also has some features that we're going to look at. So again, as Jody mentioned, you are muted, but you do have the ability to ask questions during this session. So I will stop and open it up for questions, and then we'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have. And then if we run out of time today, we will certainly follow up with each one of you after the session to answer any questions that we are unable to take today. So in taking a look at Sage 100 Cloud, this kind of gives you an idea of several things that have been included in certain bundles with Sage, and also what is available to add with Sage 100 Cloud. So we're taking a look at, there's things that are included in certain bundles, such as the Sage Inventory Advisor, Sage Contact, DSD/ScanForce Multi-Bin Basics, ScanCo Mobile Sales, and Sage Budget and Planning. And then also available to add is Sage Production Management, Sage Alerts and Workflow, and Sage AP Automation that's powered by Beanworks. So this is a screenshot of basically to talk about the Sage Budget and Planning for Sage 100 Cloud. So this product, when you're on the subscription model, you get one full user and 3 web users. They're included free with your cloud subscription. So it is a separate software that does integrate with the Sage 100, but you do receive those free user licenses. And we do have some folks that are taking advantage of this, and especially now with everything that's going on, budget and planning is more critical than ever. So that is something that is available with your Sage 100 software. And as we get through talking through some of these things today, at the very end, I'm going to make sure that you know who to contact for any of these various products that you may have an interest in. Also included is the Sage Inventory Advisor Basics. And basically, the advisor makes it quicker to place orders, to minimize stockouts, and whoops, let me go back. And also to better prioritize your inventory and the decisions that you're making. And if you were on the gold or platinum plan with your subscription, this is automatically included. And Jody, I did have a pop-up on my screen that says my internet is not very stable. So if you have any issues with seeing what I'm doing, please chime in and let me know.
Will do.
This next feature is Sage AP Automation, which is powered by Beamworks. And Jody, if you don't mind, I'm going to let you touch base just a little bit about some of the features and functionality of this product, because we've had quite a bit of interest, and especially now that folks are working remotely, this may be something that would be very beneficial to several of the folks.
Absolutely, happy to talk about this. Excuse me. And as Pam said, we have seen a big uptick in interest in AP automation products, especially since the excuse me, where we've all been going to remote workers and trying to streamflow the AP processes. So AP Automation by Beamworks is a cloud-based platform that integrates to Sage 100. It allows you to upload your invoices either manually by scanning them and uploading them to the platform, or by having your invoices, if they're already sent to you via email as PDF attachments from your vendors, you can designate a particular mailbox to receive those invoices, and the platform will automatically strip those and upload them and pre-code and pre-enter the invoices for you. Based on the cost for AP Automation is based on the number of invoices you process through per month. It is not user-based, which makes it really nice for companies that maybe have quite a few people that are involved in the AP process or approvals of accounts payable or purchase orders. Because there is no user cost for this, you can have as many users as you like accessing the platform and processing invoices, and then they flow directly into Sage 100. So very flexible workflow. You can have multiple companies and their invoices are all kept separate on the platform, with the users having access to the different company codes just like you do inside Sage 100 today. It's also mobile friendly. Approvers can receive an email notification of an invoice that they need to approve and access it right there from their phone. So really helps streamline the accounts payable approval processes and workflow. And if you're interested in learning more about Sage AP Automation, my contact information is in the chat window. You can just reach out to me after the webinar.
Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that very much.
Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. Implementation of AP Automation, I think this is a big one. Right now it's free. It's normally $5,000. And then you've got your services charges on a monthly basis. Because of the current crisis with COVID-19, AP Automation by Beamworks is offered for free implementation as well as the first month. That is just to help out our customers. So especially if you want to take advantage of AP Automation while it's free, just let me know and I can get you more information on that.
Thank you, Jody. Okay, the next area that we're going to take a look at is ScanCo Mobility. And ScanCo Mobility became available back with version 2018. And basically with the cloud, and I think you have to be on a certain bundle. Obviously, you'd need inventory and so forth, but it does include a 5-use pack with your subscription, and it helps to automate your current inventory cycle and your physical counts, being able to use your iOS or an Android device, excuse me. If this is something that you have an interest in, I believe that we do have a recorded demo out on our website related to this, and also we can get a demo just for you but this is something that has been around for a couple of years, and is a nice way to be able to do some things in your warehouse. So talking about what's new in the 2020 version, Sage 100 or Sage software released the 2020 version probably about 3 to 3.5 weeks ago. And obviously with everything that's been going on, there haven't been a lot of folks installing it yet and doing testing. We are doing testing at Oasis, and hope to be installing this version very soon. But we wanted to share some of the features that are included with this 2020 version. So some of the things that are included is the addition of being able to have international addresses on your in your Sage 100. So that's something that people have been asking for a very long time, and that has been added. And kind of stepping back a little bit, talking about the cloud, as Sage is adding new features and functionality, those that are add-ons that we kind of just went through a couple of those, or things such as this, like international addresses, which is going to be a part of the standard Sage 100 Cloud product. These changes are only being made in the cloud version. And so if you are on perpetual license and you remain on perpetual license, even if you upgrade to the version 2020, you're not going to see these new features. Another thing that they have done is they've expanded the name fields. And so they've expanded the name field from 30 characters up to 50 characters. So that's a really nice feature, and you don't have to kind of use abbreviations and try to remember how you set up a customer name, but it has expanded those name fields for you. You now can process multiple purchase orders on a single receipt. So when you're doing a receipt of goods, you can include multiple POs on that receipt instead of having to do a receipt of goods on a PO by PO basis. There is a reverse check run utility that's now available in accounts payable. And this really is something people have been asking for a very long time. So we're glad that Sage has added this to the system. But this is a new utility that's going to be available. They are adding fields for lot serial expiry. So you can enforce lot and serial expiration dates. You can calculate now expiration dates based on days, months, or years. You can calculate sell by date based on days, months, or years. And then with the serial, the lot and serial item tracking, you can much more easily track where it went, how it was used, who bought it, if if it was issued through an inventory issue. But it allows you to really be able to track lot and serialized inventory items much better. So that's another item that people have been asking for quite some time. So we're very excited that that has been added. And then this feature, which is in 2020, is called e-invoicing, and it's powered by Paya. And this is also another great feature that more folks are inquiring about because of everyone working remotely and working from home. And again, Jody, if you don't mind, I'm going to have you talk about this a little bit, about the features and functionality.
Okay, great. Sure. So this is available for version 2020. So if you haven't upgraded and you're interested in e-invoicing powered by Paya, we would need you to upgrade to 2020. Of course, as Pam said, we are now just vetting out 2020 to make sure that it's nice and stable before we start upgrading our customers, but expect to be doing that shortly. So e-invoicing by Paya is essentially it provides a customer portal, which is included as part of the platform, and all you pay is your typical merchant processing fees. So if you're accepting credit cards today with a provider other than Paya, we would simply look at moving you from your current merchant services provider to the Paya platform. And then what e-invoicing allows you to do is tag your invoices with a link in both the email and on the invoice form, I believe. It may just be in the email, where when your customer receives that invoice, they can simply click on the link and process their payment by credit card. So rather than providing the credit card information to you and then you actively processing those credit cards, they can choose when and how to pay themselves using that customer portal. Using the customer portal, they can also see other open invoices. So the link will take them to the portal, and maybe they haven't even realized that they've got a couple of outstanding invoices. They're all going to be there for them to see. They can choose to pay all of them at the same time with one transaction. Those payments do flow into your bank account just as you were taking a credit card, and the payment information comes back into Sage 100 as a paid invoice.
Thank you, Jody.
Again, if you're interested in learning more about that, just give me a call or shoot me an email after the webinar.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is related to, they've expanded the personal information de-identifier, which is related to, they do some things with in payroll with personal information, but this is something that they are looking at adding to the customer maintenance. So anyway, you can set up some features so where it can basically give you a little more protection and de-identify certain things. A few of the other things that they have added, they've added some features to Custom Office. They've added some enhancements to job costs. So, and also a program fix or a work in progress fix that was related to, I believe, the last upgrade. So they fixed that. They've added just some things to Library Master. And then they've also added some miscellaneous items such as bank feed support, where you can, some of those automated bank feeds. So they've added some of that functionality. The classic desktop retirement, for those of you that you're using Sage 100 Cloud, you know that the screen has a little bit different look to it and a little bit different feel. And it's much more customizable and much more user-friendly. But in versions prior to 2020, each end user had the option of using the classic desktop, which is what Sage has looked like since it became a Windows platform, or you could have it the new look, the cloud look, and it was on a user-by-user basis. They have removed that toggle in the 2020 version, and so you will no longer be able to view the classic desktop view. Everyone will be sharing the same view. So I did want to share that as well. Jody, do we have any questions so far? Or if you do have a question and want us to go back and touch base on anything, you can just let her know and we'll go back to anything you want to take a look at.
No questions yet.
Okay, thank you. So if you want to know more about anything that we've talked about today or anything else that you have, have an interest in, or if you're wondering, is there a solution that works with Sage for, anything else, point of sale, CRM, HR, anything of that nature, or the things that we've taken a look at today, you just need to get in touch with Jody. And I believe she said her information is in the chat window, but I also have her information listed here. And if you get in touch with her, she will be glad to take care of that for you. If you are wanting to request an upgrade, what you need to do is send me an email at pam@oasisky.com and let me know that you're interested in an upgrade, and then I will send you information. Basically, we have an upgrade request form, which is your request for us to do the pre-upgrade analysis. And I will also send you the supported platform matrix that talks about the OS, the server, and the workstation requirements that you will need to share with your IT professional. And we will be glad to get that started. Even though we're looking at probably June-ish to start the 2020 upgrades, we are doing those pre-upgrade analysis now, and we do have folks that are already in the queue that have approved their projects, and as soon as we're ready, we vetted out 2020 and we're ready to start installing, we already have folks in the queue ready. So if this is something that you think you want to do, now's a great time to do that, so we can get the analysis done, get everything scoped out, and then hopefully when all of us are back to a more normal work routine in the next month or two, we'll be ready to get started with those upgrades. So please be sure and let me know if you have any questions. And then
And we do have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
I think this is related to an upgrade. Is 2020 Premium supported on SQL 2020?
I do not have that information at my fingertips, but I can find out very easily because we do have the Premium or SQL version supported platform matrix. If you can note who that is, I will be glad to take a look at that after this session, and I also will be glad to email them the supported platform matrix so they can take a look at all the requirements.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then finally, this really doesn't have anything to do with Sage 100 Cloud per se, but just Sage in general and Oasis. And I wanted to just let everyone know that, you know, Oasis, we're here for you during this crisis. We are fully staffed. We're still manning the help desk in the same manner that we always have. And we have consultants available for, you know, upgrades or other projects. So the transition of working remotely can be kind of a challenge. And so I wanted to make you aware of some things that we can maybe help you guys with during this transition. And a couple of the first things are related to if you're using the payroll module in Sage 100. And again, this is Sage 100 as well as Sage 100 Cloud. You should have received an email last week about Oasis offering a custom PPP report that pulls information from your payroll that is required if you are going to be applying for one of those Small Business Association loans that the government is offering, those forgiven loans. We do have the reports available, and we are doing that at a low fixed fee of $199. So basically, if you're interested in this report, we will find out what version of Sage you're running. We will connect to you, download the report, and add it to your menu. And then you will have that for your use. We've had several people asking for that last week, and I believe we have everyone taken care of because I believe you could start submitting your loan applications last Friday. So, but if you have not submitted your loan application and it's still a need, please reach out to us, and we will be glad to provide that report to you. Additionally, there are new regulations regarding FSCRA earnings, and I can't tell you right off the top of my head exactly what that stands for, but it has to do with leave and sick leave related to the coronavirus. So the government has set up the requirements on what's required for sick leave and sick pay and so forth. And you will be getting an email. You may even have the email when we finish this session today. But Sage has issued a product update if you are on the 2018 or 2019 version of Sage 100, which is also the Payroll 2.0. So if you've upgraded within the past couple of years, this product update will add the new features that you need in order to set up these earnings. If you were on a version prior to 2018, Sage is not providing an update for that. However, we are working internally and have come up with the instructions on how to set up the earnings codes and the taxes and everything manually in your system, and we can help you with that as well. So you will be getting the email. It will have instructions on exactly what we need and who you need to send that request to, and then we will be getting to those as quickly as possible. So if you do have a need for that, please let us know and we will take care of that for you. Also, about 2 weeks ago, I think it may be 3 weeks ago when all of this started, we also sent out a special offer to all of our clients if you wanted to implement and set up accounts payable ACH, which I believe that functionality goes back to probably the 2016 version. That Oasis would do this as a fixed fee for $499, which is a significant discount in getting that set up. And that would include setting up one bank account for AP/ACH and doing the testing and getting a sample file sent to your bank to make sure that it's accessible. For those of you that aren't familiar with the feature, it basically works like direct deposit does for payroll. And you're still going to enter your invoices into AP like normal. You would have to get your vendors' account numbers and routing numbers and get them set up in your vendor maintenance. But when you select those when you select those invoices for payment, the vendors that will accept ACH, it basically then creates a remittance advice for them versus a check. And you can have a mixture. It doesn't have to be all or none. And then after you have processed the AP, you will go to another screen and generate the ACH file that you will then upload to your bank. So we also do have that available that might be of interest to you. And then finally, if you're not taking advantage of the email capabilities through Paperless Office, this might be something that would be very helpful to you since everyone is working remotely, or most everyone is working remotely at this time. So through Paperless Office, you can email your customer statements, you can email your customer invoices, whether they're out of AR or sales order. You can email sales orders to your customers. You can email purchase orders to your vendors. If you're doing the AP/ACH, when it creates that remittance advice, you can email that directly to your vendor so they know what you've paid and what to expect to come into their account. And then also, if you do payroll and you're doing direct deposit, you can email those stubs to your employees. So if you do have a need for that, please get in touch, send a request to our tech support email, or you can call tech support. Let them know you want to set up emailing through Paperless Office, and one of our consultants will get back with you, find out exactly what you're wanting to email, and then help you get that set up and tested and make sure everything is working well. So these are just a few of the things that we've been working on, making sure that we're ready for any need that comes along during this current situation. If there's something that you have a need for that we haven't addressed here, please reach out to us, and we are glad to help in any way that we can. Jody, do we have any additional questions?
No, we do not.
Okay. Well, that basically concludes the presentation for today. Again, I do apologize for the technical difficulties at the beginning. So hopefully the one that I have next week will go much smoother. That will be my goal. I want to thank Jody for helping facilitate the meeting today. And again, if you think of anything after this presentation, feel free to email me or email Jody. And if we're not the appropriate person to address the question, we'll make sure we get it to the right person. And then Jody, I will have you follow up with me regarding the person that has the SQL 2020 question, and I will be glad to provide detail to them. So we'll open it up for one last minute for any questions. And if we don't have anything in just a second, Jody, we'll go ahead and conclude our session for today.
I'm not seeing any takers.
Okay, well, thank you everyone, and stay well and stay safe, and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.